Good afternoon. Now we will continue multivariate linear regression. First we will discuss about estimation of parameters. So last class what we have seen that y is function of x in terms of regression coefficient beta as well as error term. So here the matrix looks like this. Y is n cross q matrix, our x is n cross p plus 1 matrix, and beta definitely should be p plus 1 cross q matrix, and our error term is also n plus q matrix. So we also have discussed the relationship with MBLR, that is multivariate linear regression vis-a-vis multiple linear regression, and we have also seen that if we go for multiple linear regression of individual y variables and then estimate the parameters, the estimates like beta 1 cap, beta 2 cap, beta your q cap will be exactly same if we estimate jointly using the multivariate linear regression formulation. The formulation remains same. Beta cap is x transpose x inverse x transpose y. So now we will discuss that with an example that how we can estimate this beta cap. So let us take a very simple small example where y is 3 cross 2, that means n is 3 observation, q is 2, so q is 2. So on 2 dependent variables, the values are 10, 12, 11, 100, 110, 105. So let us consider two independent variables also, So I can say that p equal to 2. In that case the data matrix may be like this, where 9, 8, 7, 62, 58 and 64. These are nothing but the first 3 observations for the CTCAN example we have given earlier. So what we require to do now? We require to find out the design matrix X, which will be n cross p plus 1. Here n is 3 cross p plus 1, that means 3. So this one is 1 1 1, that is for the constant term, then 9 8 7 62 58 and 64. So what is our beta estimate? Beta estimate is beta cap equal to x transpose x inverse x transpose y. Our step 1, compute x transpose x. So if we write like this, then x transpose x is 1 1 1, that is basically the transpose of this matrix, 9 8 7, then 62 58 and 64. This is your x transpose. Now what is our x matrix? X matrix is 1 1 1, 9 8 7, 62 58 and 64. If you multiply this, what you will get? what will be your multiplication? 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1. So, this will be 3. Similarly, 1 into 9 in 8 7. So, 9 plus 8 plus 7, this will be 24. Similarly, third one is 62 plus 58 plus 64, this will be 184. Now, for you consider the next row, 9 into 1 plus 8 into 1 plus 7 into 1, which is nothing but 24. Then 9 into 9 plus 8 into 8 plus 7 into 7, the square term. So, it will become 194. Then 9 into 62, 8 into 58 plus 7 into 64, this will become 1470. Then it will be asymmetric matrix. So, symmetric and square. So, this 184 will come here, 1470 will come here, and the remaining term will be 62 square plus 58 square plus 64 square. So, this total quantity will be 11304. Okay. So, this is what is our X transpose X. Then you have to compute X transpose X inverse. This is our step 2. Step 2 says X transpose X inverse. This will be 1 by determinant of X transpose X adjoint of definitely X transpose X. So, ultimately the resultant quantity you will find out, it will be, if you use any, suppose you use Excel, I have used Excel, and then the value what I got, this value is for this data set, that is 320.76 minus 8.16 minus 4.16. As symmetric matrix, this will be 1 minus 8.16. Then in this one is 0.56, this one is 0.06. So, this value will repeat here. So, minus 4.16, this value will repeat here 0.06, then the last term is your 0.06 also. This is what is inverse, X transpose X inverse. Your step 3, you compute X transpose Y. So, if you write down X transpose Y 1 1 1, then 9 8 7 62 58 64, then Y values are 10 12 11 100 110 105. Again, if you go for matrix multiplication of these two, and if you use Excel, what you will be getting? You will be getting X transpose Y equal to 33 315 263 2515 2020 19,300. So, with respect to this problem, that means what we are discussing now, we are discussing that we are given this problem that Y is 3 cross 2 matrix, X is again 3 cross 2 matrix from the data point of view, but from design matrix point of view, it is 3 cross 3 matrix, and we are using this beta cap equal to X transpose X inverse X transpose Y, that is what is the estimation formula for beta. So, our step 1 comprises X transpose X, and we got this value. Then step 2, we want the inverse of this X transpose X, this value is like this, and your step 3 is you have to find out X transpose Y, because you see that X transpose is 3 cross 3 and Y is 3 cross 2. So, you will be getting a resultant matrix of 3 cross 2. So, this is X transpose Y. Then your step 4, is what is required? You have to multiply that to your step 4, that X transpose X inverse X transpose Y. This two matrix you multiply, and then what is our X transpose X inverse? X transpose X inverse is X transpose X inverse, we have found out here. So, your X transpose X inverse is, you write down, that is 320.76 minus 8.16 minus 4.16 minus 8.16, 0.56, 0.06, then minus 4.16, 0.06, 0.06. Then what is our X transpose Y? So, our X transpose Y is 33, 263, 2020, 315, 2515, 19,300. This is the resultant. This 3 cross 3, 3 cross 2, we will be getting a 3 cross 2 matrix, and that value, if you again use a software or you go by MATLAB or Excel, what you will get? You will get this multiplication of these two will give you 35.80 minus 0.80 minus 0.30, then here it is 229, then minus 4.00, then minus 1.50. This is what is your beta matrix. This is what is your beta 1, that if I say that beta 1 cap and beta 2 cap, which is nothing but your beta 1 cap 0, beta 1 1, so beta 1 2, then beta 2 0, beta 2 0, 2 is affected by 1 2 1, and beta 2 is affected by 2. Correct. So, what you have got then? You got two equation. If I go by the logic that y is x beta plus epsilon, where y is here in this case y1 y2, and your here x is here x1 and x2, and beta is here that beta 1 0, beta 1 1 cap, beta 1 2 cap, then beta 2 0, beta 2 1 cap, and beta 2 2 cap. So, if we write like this, this is basically 2 cross 1, then this one is 3 cross 2. So, in this manner it will not work. What is required? So, okay, plus epsilon, that will be there. So, you have to think from matrix that compatibility in multiplication. Matrix multiplication. Okay. So, what we will do then? We will not write like this. Straight cut, if I write y1 equal to beta 1 0 plus beta 1 0 cap, beta 1 1 x1, then beta 1 2 x2 plus epsilon 1, this one epsilon 1 and epsilon 2. Then your y2 is beta 2 0 cap, beta 2 is affected by 1 x1, beta 2 is affected by 2 x2 plus epsilon 2. Okay. So that means if you write like this, beta this row wise and then this side x1 and x2, so this into this plus this into this, so that way it will get. Okay. So here I told you that matrix compatibility is required, but this is the resultant equation. So in our case you can write that y1 equal to 35.80, then minus 0.80 x1 minus 0.30 x2 plus epsilon 1, and your y2 is 229 minus 4.00 x1 minus 1.50 x2 plus epsilon 2. This is what is that example data. Actually what I have done, I have taken this profit, sales, then your absenteeism and breakdown hours from the CTCAN data, and we have taken only first 3 observation 1, 2, 3 just to go for computation, because you will be applying software. So you require to use more data points, not 3 data points. There will be lot of problem with small data set, I will show you. So if this is the case, then this y1 is nothing but profit, x1 is nothing but your absenteeism, x2 is nothing but your breakdown hours, y2 is sales, then this one is again absenteeism, and this one is breakdown hours. So in multiple regression, although this y side y1 y2 their profit and sale different variable, but you see x side they will be same variable for both the equations. Okay. So if absenteeism increases, profit will go down, if breakdown hour increases, profit will go down, if absenteeism increases, sales also will go down, if breakdown hour increases, this also go down. So that means the relationship will be negative, and that is coming from this example also. But as we have taken only a small amount of data set, it may so happen that it will give different results, means conceptually just opposite. So, but do not worry, this type of situation may occur because of your problem in collecting data, primarily the study design problem, that you have to take care. Now, once you have the equation that y cap equal to x beta cap, this is what is your fitted values. So, your original observations are y equal to x beta. If we write like this, plus epsilon cap, because from parameter estimation point of view you have to estimate this epsilon also. Okay. So then from these two we can write epsilon cap is equal to y minus y cap, y minus y cap, and that is also you require to find out. So if this is the case, what you require to do, so your y variable is y1 y2, so 10, 12 and 11, and y2 is 100, 110 and 105. So what you require to do now, you require to find out what will be the y cap values. Okay. Now y cap values is, y cap is x beta cap. Now x is 1 1 1, then if I go to the data set, original data set, that is 9 8 7, then 62 62 58 and 64. So this one is 3 cross 3. Then what is your beta? Beta cap we found out, I think that 35.8, 35.80, then your minus 0.80, minus 0.30, then 229, 4.00, minus, this is minus, this minus 1.50. So, this is your x beta. So, when you have written this x y equal to x beta plus epsilon, please keep in mind we are writing in terms of data matrix. So, here if it is n cross q, then it will be n cross p plus 1, then this one is p plus 1 cross your q, and this will be n cross q. So, that is why in the earlier format what we have written, that not in terms of equations, variable only equation, but from the observation point of view to write. So, this into this is also 3 cross 3. So, ultimately if you write down this one, what you will find out surprisingly that 10, this will be 12, this will be 11, this will be 100, 110, 105. So, what you are getting exactly same value of y. So, if I write here, then if I write here, then 10, then 12, 11, 100, 110, 105, what you are getting 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Why this is happening? Why this is happening? This is happening because if you recall the multiple regression case, there what we have seen, there we have seen that when r square equal to SS r by SST, and then we have written 1 minus SSE by SST, then we have written 1 minus your n minus p minus 1 into SE square by n minus 1 into SY square. You can remember this. Now, here in this case, if I think from the that parameter vectors point of view for everyone, for suppose if you go separately for y1 multiple regression, for y2 multiple regression, your estimate value remains same. As I told you that finally the error terms, there will be the difference. Here what is happening? What is the n? N is 3. We have taken 3 observation. What is p plus 1? 3. 2 plus 1, 3. So, then if I put here n minus p minus 1, that is 3 minus 3, this is becoming 0. So, your r square becoming 0, 1, r square will become 1 when epsilon that will be 0, the error will be 0, completely 0. So, we should not be happy with under such condition. This is an indication that your model is not at all fit model, although we say r square 1 means perfectly, this is a saturated model. What is saturated model? The number of observation is equal to the number of parameters to be estimated. So, saturated model case always you will get the perfect fit, that but for regression purpose this is not desirable. Okay. So, once you have developed this, that your equation is ready, then what is the next? Next is you have to have sampling distribution of beta. Sampling distribution of beta cap. Getting me? So, similarly, in MLR also we have found out the sampling distribution of beta cap. Okay, so here what is required to be known, if you want to go for that sampling distribution of beta cap, then you must know what is the expected value of beta cap, and you also require to know what is the covariance value of beta cap. These two we require to estimate. Okay. So, now let us see that what is the expected value of beta cap. Expected value of beta cap, we can write that expected value of x transpose x inverse x transpose y, because beta cap formula is this. So, x is fixed here. So, we can take x transpose x inverse x transpose out of the expectation, it will be expected value of y. Now, all of you know what is the expected value of y. See, expected value of y, suppose y is x beta plus epsilon. So, if I say that what is the expected value of y, then expected value of x beta plus expected value of epsilon, this is 0. So, this one is x expected value of beta, beta is constant. So, it is x beta. So, I will put here x transpose x inverse x transpose x beta. Again you see x transpose x inverse is, and particularly x transpose x is a symmetric square matrix, and its property this transpose into this will be an identity matrix. So, I beta, so we can write this is beta. So, unbiased ST method. Okay. What you require now? You require covariance of beta, covariance of beta cap. So, this can be written like this: expected value of beta cap minus expected value of beta cap. Can we write like this? This into beta cap minus expected value of beta cap, this transpose. We have seen earlier this one. Now, what is beta cap minus expected value of beta cap? Expected value of beta cap is beta. So, this can be written like this: beta cap minus beta. So, beta cap is x transpose x inverse x transpose y minus beta. Yes. So, then you put here x transpose x inverse x transpose y is x beta plus epsilon minus beta. The resultant quantity will become x transpose x inverse x transpose x beta plus x transpose x inverse x transpose epsilon minus beta. Minus beta, and this quantity is I, so this is beta. So, beta minus beta cancel out that one. So, ultimately you are getting x transpose x inverse x transpose epsilon. So, your beta cap minus capital beta is this. Then our covariance, then what will be the second one? Beta cap minus beta transpose. So, this one you can write x transpose x inverse x transpose epsilon transpose. So, this will be just, it will reverse way epsilon transpose, then this x will come now x, then x transpose x inverse is x, x in transpose inverse, that remains same because of symmetric matrix. So, this is the quantity now. What is our covariance of beta cap? That means expected value of beta cap minus beta, beta cap minus beta transpose, that was the formula. So, I will write this here. Our beta cap minus beta is x transpose x inverse x transpose epsilon, and the transpose of it epsilon transpose x, x transpose x inverse. Okay. So, as usual we will bring the x factor out of the expectation operator, then we will get x transpose x inverse x transpose expected value of epsilon, epsilon transpose x, x transpose x inverse. Okay. This fixed value does not require the expectation operator here. Now, question is what is epsilon, epsilon transpose? Getting me? Now, if you see the equation y is n cross q equal to x beta plus epsilon, where epsilon is also n cross q. Now, then epsilon, epsilon transpose, this will become, this is n cross q and this one will become q cross n, then the resultant will become n cross n. Getting me? Resultant will become n cross n. So, if you can remember the one of the assumption what I have told you in the last class of multivariate regression, that I said that across this x, that different across x observations, when you see the y value, ultimately we say that covariant structure, the same covariant structure, this covariant structure with respect to what? With respect to the y, there are qy variables. So, ultimately what will happen then, this quantity will become like this. This one is x transpose x inverse x, then this one will become into I, that there is one operator called Kronecker, this quantity will become like this. So, this symbol is known as Kronecker product. Kronecker product. So, into x, x transpose x inverse, this will be the case. Now, why this here n cross n, then ultimately what will happen? For every dependent variable, for y1 n cross n, for y2 again n cross n, for y3 n cross n, yq n cross n. So, that is why again what will happen ultimately, if you go by the multiple regression mode, there you will find out that for every, here if it is one y variable only, it's sigma, this will not be sigma, then it will be sigma square, then it will be sigma square, it will be sigma square. Now, when we create the covariance matrix of epsilon for multiple regression also, we get n cross n, but here everywhere when the diagonal element will be sigma square, because for every element of that error, that the variance is sigma square and off diagonal definitely will become 0. So, here in this case what is happening? In this case it is happening like this. Suppose I have y1, y2, so similarly yq, this side also y1, y2 like yq. So, see what is happening here. Here you are getting y1 versus y1, this case also you will be getting, what is this? This is, you will be getting here sigma, and here also you will be getting sigma, here also you will be getting sigma, here also you will be getting sigma. Okay. So, that is why this total, this arrow term, this Kronecker alpha is coming because of Kronecker product is coming because of this. So, you will get this type of terminal, this type of relationship which will be if you further simplify x transpose x inverse x transpose x x transpose x inverse, then this Kronecker product, this. Okay, now x transpose x inverse x transpose x is I, so ultimately that will not be there. So x transpose x inverse this. But there will be this Kronecker product. Why this? For every y, x transpose x will be multiplied to every y. Here this one will be x transpose x inverse. Here it will be mine x transpose x inverse. Okay, here it will be x transpose x inverse. Everywhere it will be multiplied. Okay, and ultimately what we want to say that ultimately that for this one, now you think of the situation like this. Suppose here we are talking about individual y vis-a-vis x, then if we go by the y that expected y value, therefore every observation what will happen? Every observation that sigma value will be equal. Every observation of x, the y sigma will be equal, and that is true for all other y values also. So as a result, this is fine, but when you will be using for a individual y like y1, like y2, like your yq, so you have to be very judicious that what you will be using. So you will be using sigma. I think I have given you earlier also. Sigma is sigma 1 square, sigma 1 2, sigma 1 3, like this sigma 1 q. Then sigma 1 2, sigma 2 square, sigma 2 3, like sigma 2 q, and this manner sigma 1 q, sigma 2 q, like this sigma q q means sigma q square. Somewhere there will be sigma k square for the kth term. Okay. So if I go by individual y variable for the kth variable, this diagonal element you take kth variable, here I think you can still remember that we used in univariate case x transpose x and sigma square. So that means sigma 1 square x transpose x inverse sigma 2 square. So like this x transpose x inverse sigma q square. When you talk about individual dependent variable part. Okay. Now that means I must know that sigma 1 sigma k square k equal to 1 to q. If you know this, then you know the variability part, that covariance of beta k. Getting me? What I mean to say, that if I consider yk variable, that case the covariance of beta k, we are saying that it will be x transpose x inverse sigma k square, that we are saying. That is what we have seen earlier also. Okay. So, but question is that sigma is not known, capital sigma is not known. So, how do we understand that what is this sigma? But you know this epsilon cap is known to you. Now, if I make epsilon cap transpose epsilon cap, then what is this value? this value epsilon transpose will be q cross n and epsilon will be n cross q. So, this quantity will be q cross q. Okay. So, this is what is your SSCP error part. Instead of in MLR you have written this one epsilon transpose epsilon, when you have done you said SSE and this you say SSE and it was a scalar quantity. But here this is q cross q matrix, that is why it is a vector quantity. Getting me? And this value, so SSCPE, this value is n minus p minus 1 into capital sigma. Getting me? Now what we will do, if we write like this, SSCPE, if I write S11 or S1 square, let it be right, S1 square, S12, S1q, because this is q cross q, then S12, S2 square, S2q. So, like this if you write S1q, S2q, SQ square. So, this is n minus p minus 1 into sigma 1 square, that cap, then sigma 1 2 cap. So, like this sigma 1 q cap, sigma 1 2 cap, sigma 2 cap square, sigma 1 2 2 2 2 q cap. So, like this sigma 1 q cap, sigma 2 q cap. So, like this sigma q q cap means sigma q square cap. Correct? So, if I take one value here which is s for the kth dependent variable, if we take a value here s k square, then this corresponding the population case, that is sigma k square, but we are estimating this one. Getting me? Then what is the relationship? Relationship is s k square equal to n minus p minus 1 sigma caps k square. So, ultimately when you are saying k, that means we are talking about yk, variable yk. You are going back to your multiple regression case. Okay. Now, what you require now? So, you know what are the things you know? You know the things what is given to you now, that beta cap point estimate, this is my point estimate, it is known, and I know that this also followed that normal distribution, what normal, multiple or multivariate? Beta cap is, what is this beta cap? N cross p plus 1 cross q, multivariate case. Now what happened? I am writing here beta k, then we are going back to this MLR case. So, that means this will be 1. So, then this will become p plus 1. Now, p plus 1, then this beta k into x transpose x inverse sigma k square. Correct. The sigma k square will be estimated sigma k square will be estimated, and ultimately what will happen then, that sigma k square you will be replacing by like this, sigma k square is s k square by n minus p minus 1, where s k square is the kth element of the SSCP matrix, kth element of the SSCP matrix. Now question comes that what will be the confidence region? Confidence region, because when we are coming to the multivariate domain, first is confidence region, then what will be the confidence region of what? Confidence region of beta k. Here we are going back to individual variable beta k, that we have seen in MLR. What will be the simultaneous confidence interval for of beta kj? See that j stands for number of j equal to 1 to p, 0 to p, 0 to p, j equal to 0 to all the regression coefficients related to x variables. K stands from 1 to q. Then comes that what these two, and then comes that what will be the confidence interval of beta kj. Okay. Now if you recall in MLR that okay, we have not gone for this confidence region because of the robustness of regression, and also we have described what is this, and also we have described what will be the simultaneous confidence interval or beta kj using Bonferroni approach. We have used Bonferroni approach. So, but what we have discussed there mostly beta j case, there k was that one variable k was not there. So, in MLR we have discussed about beta j with respect to the estimate of this, and you have seen that we says that beta j cap minus expected value of beta j cap divided by standard error of beta j cap follows t distribution that we have described. So, the same thing prevail here also. Same thing we can use here. We can write that beta kj minus expected value of beta kj divided by standard error of beta kj, all cap, these are estimate one. This follows t distribution with n minus p minus 1 degree of freedom. See here also the degree of freedom is n minus p minus 1. Earlier also we have seen this, the n minus p minus 1 in MLR case also, because the x side remains same in MLR as well as this case. Okay. So, then I think this does not require discussed here, because if you follow my earlier lecture of MLR, then you will be able to find out that the same thing is given. So, what I mean to say, suppose this one is minus t n minus p minus 1 into alpha by 2, and this one is n minus p minus 1 alpha by 2. So, this side is alpha by 2 and this side is alpha by 2, and then this is your 100 into 1 minus alpha % confidence interval for what? For beta j. What is this beta j? Beta j is basically expected value of beta j. Here we are using beta kj, because k is coming from the dependent side, expected of value of this. So, you can write then, you can write that t n minus p minus 1 minus alpha by 2 less than if I use less than equal to less than, let us try it less than, then this will be beta kj minus beta kj cap minus beta kj by what is the standard error of beta kj? X transpose x inverse sigma k square we found out. Sigma k square is nothing but AC square by n minus p minus 1. So, you can write down, I think I have given in somewhere here, that X transpose x inverse then your sigma k cap square, which will become AC square by n minus p minus 1, correct. So, that value will come here, that value will be coming here. So, I will not writing this. So, straightway I am writing AC this because of you can beta kj less than equal to T n minus p minus 1 alpha by 2. So, ultimately what will happen, your confidence interval will become beta kj minus T n minus p minus 1 SE beta kj less than beta kj less than beta kj cap plus T n minus p minus 1, definitely alpha by 2 is there, alpha by 2 into standard error of beta kj cap. So, how do you know beta kj cap? The standard errors, I told you X transpose x inverse sigma k cap square, which will give you X transpose x inverse S k square by n minus p minus 1. Okay, you check this one. If there is mistake, you report to me. I don't think there is mistake. So, ultimately this is your this one is your 100 into 1 minus alpha % confidence interval. So, this one let us see that the result. I have, if you go back, so let us go to the data set initially we have considered. So, this is the data set, this one profit, this is your sales volume, this one is the constant term for x0, this is absenteeism, this one is breakdown hours, this is M ratio. So, that means 1, 2, 3 variables from the independent side we have considered and 2 variables from the dependent side we have considered. Then what I have used? I have used SPSS, then SPSS result is this, getting me? Now, see the profit intercept 10.897 and its standard error, that X transpose x inverse, that CJJ, that same formulation if you use, the standard error is 2.572 and what will be the T value? T value is basically under null hypothesis is true, that means H0 beta kj equal to 0, then your beta, the estimate by the standard error. So, 10.89 divided by 2.5, how much it is coming? If I multiply this into 4, I think this is coming exactly. So, see, so intercept 4.237, T value is 4.237 means it is quite large value and the probability significance level is 0.003. So, similarly absenteeism breakdown M ratio, and you see ultimately what is happening here, that absenteeism is not significant, breakdown is significant, but it is slightly higher than the 5% significance level, but still it is to be considered. M ratio is very significant from profit point of view. If you go by that sales point of view, suddenly even breakdown hours are also not coming into that significant case. Okay. So, that means what I mean to say here, I mean to say here that you know beta, these are the coefficients. So, this side is beta 1, this is beta 2, this is the standard error part, then this is also standard error for this. Now, once you know this beta as well as its standard error, so also you are in a position to find out the confidence interval. That instead of confidence interval, here it is given the significance level as if the H0 is framed that beta equal to true. But it is also possible to find out that this one, the confidence interval, you see this figure, that lower 95% confidence interval, lower bound and upper bound, this is given. And if you see that SSCP matrix, here it is given, you see SSCP matrix, that what I said, that SSCP matrix. So, this is the first for the profit, that is the very SSCP that value, and this one is your cells, the diagonal elements. Okay, these are the AC square, S1 square and S2 square. These values are there, and you know that n minus p minus 1, that value is known to you, and you will be able to find out the variance standard error part once you multiply it by x transpose x inverse. Okay, just you check, because what I mean to say, I have not checked this by hands on calculation, I have not checked, that you just check for one, that SSCP matrix, EP matrix is available, and your x transpose x is also available, that inverse is available, and you know that n, p, everything is given, that I ask you to check the what are the confidence bound you are getting, that interval part that you check, and I think you will get the same. It has to be, if I am not committing mistake in the theory. And for this part particularly, this sampling distribution of beta, that estimation as well as sampling distribution of beta, it is almost similar to multiple linear regression. So, you I think you do not face any problem here. Okay. Your problem will be in model adequacy test, which we will discuss next. Okay. In detail we will discuss this model adequacy test in the next class. Thank you.